gotta finish with the info.
Yeah, it's delayed right here.
It's set up. We're trying to set this up.
Huh?
Yeah, so we got that set up. Somebody can man this and connect to the
Did he get banned? Did he get partially missed?
We're gonna set this up. Cal uses this whole screen.
On behalf of the Lufkin ISD Educational Foundation, welcome to our 2026 Panthers of Prestige Academic Awards Ceremony. I'm Dr. Monique Nunn, proud president of the Lufkin Education Foundation, and I'm thrilled to be here with you tonight as we honor some truly exceptional students and the incredible educators who've helped them shine. Tonight, it's about excellence, it's about dedication, and it's about the power of inspiration, both given and received. First, we'd like to offer a heartfelt thank you to our signature sponsor, Linebarger, Gogan, Blair, and Sampson. Tonight, we want to acknowledge them, and I know in the audience we have Ashley and Kelsey. Would you please stand so we can properly acknowledge you all? Once again, we just want to say thank you for always supporting the Education Foundation and our endeavors. Thank you for always the unwavering support and for this event and your commitment to public education. I also ask everyone, as you flip to the back of your program, you'll see a list of generous businesses, families, and individuals who have made tonight possible. If you are listed as a student sponsor, would you please rise so we can recognize you as well? Now I have some in the audience. Thank you. Your contributions are what allowed us to shine a spotlight on the achievements of our graduates in such a meaningful way. And now it is my pleasure to introduce someone who's been instrumental in bringing this evening and all of our events with the Educational Foundation to life. Let me introduce our director, Morgan Watson.
Thank you, Monique. And welcome again, everyone. I am Morgan Watson, the Executive Director of the Lufkin Education Foundation. And while many of you are familiar with what we do, I want to make sure to highlight the heart behind our organization. Our mission is simple. We help bring creative, innovative ideas to life in classrooms across Lufkin ISD. Over the years, we've funded everything from greenhouses and coding robots to Jello heart surgeries, full sensory rooms, and professional-grade production equipment. Basically, if a teacher has a creative idea that makes learning more engaging, exciting, and memorable, we want to help make it happen. Since 2014, the foundation has invested more than $700,000 into programs and projects that are transforming the student experience across our district. While we are super proud of that, tonight really isn't about the dollar amount to the statistics. Instead, tonight is about people. It's about impact. It's about the teachers who saw potential in a student before they saw it in themselves, and the students who took that encouragement and ran with it. Every year, we gather to honor the top 20 graduating seniors and educators of influence they've chosen to recognize. And this year's group, we tell you they're going places. We're talking future engineers, doctors, educators, business leaders, military officers, and degree tracks that, to be completely honest, I don't even know if I pronounced them correctly, but they sound super impressive. They are headed places like Texas A&M, whoop, no, me, okay, universities of Mississippi, Tennessee, and Texas, the United States Air Force, and many more incredible destinations. Some are staying close to home, some are headed across the country, but all of them are carrying the spirit of Lufkin with them. Tonight, we celebrate not only what they've accomplished, but also the educators who helped shape them and their journey along the way. Now, the moment that we've all been waiting for, if you'll please turn your attention to the back of the room and join me in welcoming the smiling, but they told me earlier that they're pretty nervous. So. Before tonight's ceremony, our top 20 students were asked to select one educator who made a lasting impact on their lives, someone who encouraged them, challenged them, and believed in them. Without any warning, we barged into those teachers' classrooms with cameras, gifts, surprise announcements, and a whole lot of smiles. And we captured some truly special moments along the way. Let's take a look on these screens and see these unforgettable surprises.
I've always wanted this! Oh my gosh! You tricked me!
I did!
You tricked me! Bella! Yeah. I'm retired!
I know!
Oh! I've always wanted this! Bella! Yeah, you were.
I picked you as my teacher of influence. Right. Hey, Mr. Bean.
Yay! I didn't think I was getting picked. I believed y'all for once.
Miss Free. Don't cry. Hey, Maddie. You're my teacher of influence. Yeah. Yes. You're wonderful. You're wonderful. Hey, Miss Stewart.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, look at chocolate!
Yay, Miss Stewart. Hi, Miss Stover.
Oh my gosh. Look at that.
Surprise! You're my teacher. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Oh. Yay!
Excited?
I thought so.
Yeah!
God, what an awesome thing. This is amazing. This almost makes me want to come back. Almost.
Hey, Miss Courtney.
Hey!
Hello.
How are you? Oh, goodness.
Oh, that's the sign.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I picked you. Hi. Hi, Mr. Schultz. You're my teacher of influence. Hey, Mr. Garcia! I trust you as my teacher of influence. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, you have a sign. Here you go. Thank you. Love you.
I'm so glad I got to see you. Of course.
Chose me.
Yes. Who else would I choose?
That's so sweet. Oh my gosh, this is so unexpected.
There was no one else I was gonna choose.
Oh, Nicole. Oh my gosh.
And this is for you.
Doing me in, lady. This isn't an April Fool's joke, right?
Oh, there's your sign.
What a beautiful reminder of the power of connection between student and teacher. Now it's time for the heart of tonight's event, celebrating the achievements and relationships that brought us here. Each of our top 20 students will now be introduced alongside their educator of influence. This is their moment to share thanks, offer advice, or reflect on their time together. Each student will receive a Panther Prestige Graduation Medal, a symbol of their outstanding academic achievements, and each educator will receive a small gift from the foundation as a token of our appreciation. So let's get started. We're going to begin with Ms. Reed Fasten.
Dear Mr. Beans, from being in your class by mistake sophomore year to now 83 as a senior, I'm truly grateful for every opportunity and moment in your class you have shared. Your class showed me another career path I want to pursue in the future, and you have given me every opportunity to achieve that dream. Though this class was different from others, I was able to express myself freely and able to joke around with you and my classmates. I was never called annoying or too much or asked to quiet down, which is why your class became the highlight of my day. From doing things I quickly learned to love, like anchoring in interviews, to things I loved much less, like editing, I was actually encouraged to step out of my comfort zone and be more outgoing, like being MC for pep rallies and interviews with coaches and football players after games. But what I admire most about you is that you believed in your students to the fullest potential. Not just me, but all the AP kids, trying to help them understand and learn the world of production. It was always the little things that mattered, like saying how you were proud of us for editing a tough video, or the fact that you still tried to help me work with cameras or audio when you were out with your own personal matters. Being able to walk into your classroom not having to worry about tons of worksheets or busy work, and being able to step away from the stressors of high school was like a breath of fresh air. And as much as I hate to admit it, I was able to turn to your classroom when I had nowhere to sit at lunch, where I was welcomed in. Here, I was further inspired by the older AV kids ahead of me and what they brought to the program and the opportunities that was given to them. I'm proud to say I have worked my way to this year with your help, and I wanted to give you a big thank you for inspiring 15-year-old me to sprout a new path in my life that never saw attainable. You are such a great role model, and thank you for helping me capture almost every moment of my high school career on screen. Also, you lost the game from your favorite student, Reed Basson. I mentioned a sweet teacher that had told us it was her first day at Lufkin High School. As I stumbled through trying to pronounce her last name, my mom stopped me and said, "You mean Maddie Wazalowski?" Unbeknownst to me, Miss Maddie Wazalowski was my babysitter whenever I was a little girl. The next day, I worked up the courage and asked her if she remembered me, and from there, she's been somebody I find a unique piece in. As many of my peers can relate, high school is a time in life that rarely seems to slow down. Whether it's assignments on top of assignments, or you're dealing with emotions that have no true rhyme or reason, this time in life can seem to never have an off switch. But lucky for me, I found an outlet for that chaos early on, which is art. Over the years, my need to prioritize art has come in waves. And unfortunately right now, thanks to the way college is consuming most of my life, I'm at a low tide. But over last summer, I seemed to have all the time in the world. That's whenever I reached out to Maddie and got the opportunity to be able to paint in a real art studio. In that small studio, two girls, both trying to figure out life in their own ways, shared conversations, vulnerability, and quiet moments of creativity. Those hours surrounded by paint and unfinished canvases are memories I will always cherish. But above all, what I will cherish most about Maddie is the chance that I got to watch her grow. I know it may seem odd that I'm standing here saying that I got to watch my teacher grow as a person, when usually it's the other way around. But from the first day in room N32, I've watched her grow as a strong, confident educator. I've watched her become a fiance and then a wife. I've watched her go from someone who was paid to spend time with me to someone who I sadly realize time is fleeting with. To me, Maddie is an example of resilience. She is a ray of sunshine in the dark halls of a restless school. She is an endless fountain of creativity, and she is someone who I could not be more proud of. Maddie, you're not just my teacher of influence, you're my friend.
Next, Yusel Castro.
Dear Miss Stewart, our wonderful, amazing, and gorgeous choir director, I want to start by thanking you for being such a wonderful mentor and role model. Your support and encouragement have made me feel truly seen and valued throughout my high school journey. You watched me grow from a shy first-year student into someone who now leads within the choir program, a three-time All-Stater and now who is in the top 20 of my class. Having someone believe in me through every stage of that growth has meant more than I can fully express. You are also one of the few people who have seen me at some of my lowest, yet you never fail to encourage me, not just to overcome challenges, but to grow from them. Because of your guidance, I decided in my junior year to pursue music, something I had been unsure about for years. That choice has shaped my future, and I am so grateful for the role you played in it. Coming into high school, I was pretty scared, as were many others. At first, I came in with a large group of friends thinking I had the rest of my high school experience figured out. I couldn't have been more wrong. Although that once large friend group has disassembled, I found a new community in the choir room. I found a family, a place to express myself, and a teacher who would always be there for me. Like when you stayed after class to give me advice on my solo performances or encourage me during my first auditions. You created all of this through your welcoming attitude and encouragement, and has made a lasting impact on my confidence and sense of belonging. Your dedication to your students is something I deeply admire. From giving up your time during breaks to help us prepare for auditions, to staying late to review sight reading, your commitment never goes unnoticed. You challenge us while also reminding us that every voice matters, and that balance is what makes your classroom so special. The choir environment that you have created is not only cohesive, but has practically shaped me into the person I am today. I'm sure you remember the shy little girl who sat in the front row with a soft-spoken voice but a big heart, bursting to sing anything and everything. You have turned this one self-conscious girl into a leader, a friend, and so much more to others. One of your quotes, and no, it's not dynamics are relative, which has still been helpful, but is, choir is special because we get words. This has become a guiding principle for me. It's not just a quote I used in my college or scholarship essays, but a reminder I carry every day. Choir gave me a voice in more ways than one, and you helped me learn how to use it. The once quiet, self-conscious student you met has grown into someone more confident, more expressive, and more willing to lead. And that transformation is largely because of you. I want to sincerely thank you for the incredible impact you've had on me and all of your students class was a staple part of my introduction to high school and relit the spark for learning in my life. I was never not excited to go to your classroom, as there is always something new and interesting to learn. Some of my favorite lessons were when we explored Greek mythology and even made presentations about its historical period. Even more complex novels you read, such as Romeo and Juliet, were just as engaging. You were present when I embarked on new chapters, like when I was first inducted into National Honor Society, or during sophomore year when I was granted the opportunity to travel to New York, all of which were exciting moments for me, and I was lucky to share these moments with you. I would like to thank you for all that you have done for me these past years. Whenever I need a recommendation letter for a scholarship or a question answered, you were always ready to lend a hand. Your character inside and outside the classroom is what sealed my nomination for you as my educator of influence. The knowledge you have shared and willingness to help others both contributed to my highly positive opinion of you in the way I interact with my peers. Overall, I know that you will continue to influence even more students positively. You can be certain that this recognition is well deserved and will hopefully serve as a reminder of your remarkable contributions and standout qualities. With kind regards, Kendall Cotton. Ashby Dean. Dear Ms. K, I just wanted to take the time to thank you for everything you've done for me this year. Choosing you as my educator of influence was an easy decision because of how much of an impact you've had on me throughout my senior year. Since I moved here right before high school, I didn't really get the chance to build many strong connections with my teachers. But having you as my government and economics teacher this year really changed that. You made me feel comfortable in your class, and I could tell that you actually care about your students. Not just about our grades, but who we are as people. I really appreciated how you would talk to us and take interest in what we have going on outside of school. One thing that really stands out about you is how patient you are. You always take the time to make sure everyone understands what we're learning, even if it takes explaining things more than once. It's obvious you put a lot of effort into your teaching, and it really makes a difference. Your class felt like a place where I could ask questions without feeling embarrassed and actually learn. Honestly, your class was one that I look forward to every day. You made learning government and economics more interesting, and your class environment just made it a good place to be overall. That's not something every teacher can do, but you definitely did. Thank you for being such an amazing role model and for caring as much as you do. You've made a big impact on me this year, and I'll always be grateful for that. I truly appreciate you, Ashley.
J.C. Eagle.
Miss Bree, when I first started high school, I really didn't want to put myself out there. I did not see myself joining any extracurriculars or clubs because I thought that this would be too complicated and I wouldn't be able to handle it. When Club Rush would come around, I didn't even bother visiting the booths because I thought none of them would be a really good fit for me. Even though I didn't look, I still heard about the clubs, and one did manage to grab my attention, that being yours. I always wanted to pursue a career in the medical field, so HOSA was an absolute fit when it came to my goals and interests. But I didn't join this club freshman year. I didn't think that I would be able to get along with anyone or have the courage to participate in anything that was included in the organization. I was too afraid to leave my comfort zone because I was so used to the routine that I followed. But my sophomore year, you encouraged me when you didn't have to participate in what the club had to offer. You were the one to take me out of my routine, which may not seem huge to most people, but this truly helped me grow as a person and get the will to do things that seemed irrationally uncomfortable. So I joined HOSA, and you didn't let me stay in the background of this where it was most comfortable, but instead I was motivated to fully participate. After taking Principles of Health Science as a sophomore, I was eager to join more of your classes. Not only did they prepare me for the patient care technician program that I wanted to join, but I was in the classroom of a teacher I could truly get along with and who saw me. I could talk to you outside of my schoolwork and feel more than comfortable doing so. And because of you, I wanted to do more to be involved. I applied to be an officer for HOSA at the end of my junior year when I previously didn't even think I could handle being a member of the club. You're the reason that I believed I could do it. I don't think I could have had a better organization leader, medical teacher, or instructor for the patient care technician program than you. I feel confident to ask questions and encouraged to try again when I mess up because I know that I'm being led by someone I trust and truly wants me to do well. You helped me build the courage to do so much of what I now have going for me. And I truly believe that you've influenced me the most in being successful, both socially and academically. You've been a part of nearly the entirety of my high school experience, and I don't think that I would be where I am today without you and your support. I'm truly grateful that I can be your student, and I'll bring the experiences, the skills, and the confidence that you have provided me to the healthcare field and beyond that.
Up next, Melanie Espinosa.
Good evening. Today, I am honored to recognize my educator of influence, Miss Ishmael. Miss Ishmael was my music teacher at Slack Elementary, and while it has been many years since I sat in her classroom, her impact on my life has only grown with time. Back then, I was a very shy student, but in a room full of recorders, xylophones, and energetic kids, she created an environment where music felt exciting, welcoming, and safe to explore. Whether it was helping us learn notes through games like turning the notes F, A, C, E, and E, G, B, D, F into a game similar to Twister, or guiding us through songs with patience and enthusiasm, she made music something I looked forward to. More importantly, she saw something in me that I didn't fully see yet, myself. She encouraged me to join the elementary honor choir, and that experience changed everything. It gave me the confidence to continue with choir when I entered middle school, a decision that would go on to shape the next 7 years of my life. Today, as a senior ranked 8th in my class, one of my proudest accomplishments is earning a place in the 2026 Texas Music Educators Association All-State Mixed Choir. But that achievement didn't begin this year or even in high school. It began in your classroom with a teacher who chose to encourage a quiet student. What makes Ms. Ishmael's impact even more meaningful is that it never truly stopped. Over the years, I've had the chance to see her again at my younger sister's school events, or even unexpectedly just a few months ago at the bowling alley in Nacogdoches, where she wished me luck before my final All-State audition. And at the All-State concert itself, knowing she was in the audience meant more to me than I can fully put into words. I even got a chance to say thank you in person after the performance, though I don't think I could ever fully express how much her encouragement meant in just those few minutes. Ms. Ishmael, your kindness, patience, and dedication to your students do not go unnoticed. You have impacted not just one classroom, but years of students, myself included, in ways that last far beyond elementary school. Thank you for seeing potential in me, for encouraging me, and for guiding me to find something I truly love. I am incredibly grateful.
Ms. Kimberly Flores.
Dear Mr. Cruz, ever since I started school, I never knew that educators would have an impact on my life. I always thought that teachers come and go year by year. That was my thoughts about teachers until I entered high school. I still remember the first day that I met you. It was my taste of LHS day when I was in 8th grade. Your speech about your class really motivated me to join, and hence is why I joined. Once high school started, I was really nervous about your class and the print shop since I never had a class where you could walk around and help with certain tasks. After some time, you made the class worth taking. The print shop soon became a safe place for me to come back to and help you out with anything you needed, as well as growing connections with people, including you. I enjoyed the many times I had free time to have a good chat or even just take silly pictures of the print shop. I was sad when I realized that the class was only a half-year course during 9th grade. And yes, I really did want to take the class in 10th grade, but I had no open space for it until 11th grade. I was glad that I decided to take it in 11th grade instead of 10th, since you informed me that it was your last year before you retired. If I took it in 10th grade, then I wouldn't have been able to spend time with you in your last year at the high school. It felt amazing to take your class once again because I had the comfort and connections of the print shop once again. I will never forget the hugs I received from you every day before the end of class. Moreover, I can't forget about all the events you waved and called out for me. You helped me find comfort every day whether I was having a good or bad day. And if there's one thing I learned throughout the course is that Mr. Cruz cannot be Mr. Cruz without his Dr. Pepper. In other words, you helped me find comfort and happiness. And you also set an excellent example to me that educators can be with you throughout school or just life in general, which is why I chose you as my educator at Village. I know this
cannot express how much I appreciate you and all the heartwarming moments, but I hope that I can show you that you got a friend in me. Love, thanks.
Mateo Garcia Hernandez.
Dear Ms. B, when I was first in your class, I was timid and reserved, barely talking to anyone, even those I knew. After all, I was just a middle schooler at the time with no real idea of how to be social, especially with teachers. However, that did not deter you from welcoming me and breaking open my shell. This was first clear to me when I told you my birthday, and you shared with me that I had shared a birthday with your son, Robert. Moreover, when my birthday came around and I was honored that you would celebrate Robert's memory through me and allow me to cherish his memories with you. Since that very first birthday in your classroom, I saw you in a new light. Not as my Spanish teacher just doing her job, but as a second mother, nurturing me and uplifting me with all your heart. I would no longer just sit closed off at my table doing my work. I would jump at the chance to join you in conversations with you, which in turn opened me to others in my class. From the moment I realized how much you impacted me, I knew I must pay it back in some way, but I didn't know how until high school when I heard of the educator of influence for the top 20 students. I worked hard so that I could honor you in the same way you had honored me all the way to the present. I don't know if you ever thought I would be here where I am today, being able to honor you right now, but I hope that you knew I was forever changed by you and everything you've done for me. I will forever be grateful and think fondly of all the shared memories we were able to have. Thank you so much, Ms. B, with all my heart.
Mateo, you can't come back to the mic. No, sir. Our only male, and I got tears right now. All right, Jolena Hernandez.
Dear Ms. Ramsey, I hope you are doing well. I would first like to thank you for being my dyslexia teacher during my years at Brandon Elementary. I would not have been able to improve my reading and spelling skills without you. To this day, I still use certain methods to help me read without skipping ahead and to sound out words when I'm having trouble spelling. Oh my goodness, no, I almost choke. When I have trouble spelling them. You have left an impact on me whether you know it or not. When you pulled me out of an advanced class in 5th grade to tell me that I was graduating from dyslexia class, I was happy, probably my happiest moment that day, but also confused. I didn't know you could graduate from dyslexia class. I thought I would be in them all the way through high school. I was also disappointed when I realized I wouldn't get to see you every day anymore. I'd like to thank you for teaching me the difference between the words there, where, and where. I am thankful for having to write in cursive in class, as I realize some people can't read or write it, but my younger self disliked it. Either way, I truly love being in your class. My favorite memory from your class isn't just one moment, but how you were every day. It is how every day, despite what may have happened before our class, you always were kind, sweet, and positive. I don't remember a single day when you had a negative attitude. You encouraged us to be confident in ourselves and never doubted our abilities, even when we did. Because of you, I've grown in my confidence with spelling and speaking. I still have moments during presentations or any sorts of public speaking where I struggle to pronounce words correctly. I do want to update you on how I'm doing. I have grown much more confident in my spelling since 5th grade, even though I still struggle at times. I sometimes skip lines when reading and have to use my fingers to stay on track. Dyslexia is still something I have to deal with every day, and I still mix up words like quiet and quite. However, I do push myself. I've taken one AP class, well, 2, and I have also learned that my dyslexia affects more than reading. It affects my math also. I will always be grateful for having you as a teacher and everything you've done to help me grow. Your impact on my life won't be forgotten, and I will carry the lessons you have taught me with handling any difficulties and pushing past them. It doesn't only apply with my dyslexia, but also with other obstacles in life.
Chesney McCullough. and go to Olivia Loyola. Please forgive me.
Dear Miss Lamb, I took you to be teacher of influence because you truly made a difference when I had you my teaching. You're always kind, patient, funny. You're one of the teachers I had who genuinely cared about your students. One thing that I appreciated was you always encouraged us to stay on top of our scholarships and college applications. You prioritized your students' future and gave opportunities to work on this theme, which meant a lot and helped prepare me for my future. You also created a classroom that felt comfortable and welcoming. I always felt at ease, and I appreciate that you never pressured us to do anything we're not comfortable with. You made it easier to learn and meet myself in your class. These are just 3 reasons why I took you as my teacher of influence. Thank you for being such a genuine, supportive, and caring teacher. I'm truly grateful to have had a teacher like you.
Okay, now I'm going to go to Miss Chesney McCullough.
Dear Coach Tullis, or Tully Bully Poo Poo Bear, I know seeing me on the stage is probably the last thing you expected from me, since I hardly take anything seriously other than volleyball, dodging your hugs, and annoying you. But don't worry, I didn't expect to be here either. I wish I could sit here and say these past 4 years together have been easy, but we both know they've been far, far, far from it. Being a student athlete is draining, demanding, and crushing at times, but you always reminded me to focus on the positives, because in the end, it's a blessing. The past years have truly been a roller coaster. Moving from coach to coach, sport to sport, and team to team could have easily made us both feel lost, but you never failed to make me feel seen. Coming into high school as a freshman playing at the varsity level was anything but easy. It was overwhelming and stressful beyond belief. However, you always made me laugh in moments where all I could feel was the pressure. Whether it was on the court, in the locker room, or even in the hallways at school, since you're a hall monitor now, you went out of your way to remind me and every student athlete that we're more than just our athletic performance. You pushed me when I felt like I'd reached my breaking point, and you encouraged me when I felt lost. You taught me how to be a better leader, to be trustworthy, steadfast, and to lead by example for my teammates to follow. You showed me the importance of showing up every day and putting in the work to achieve the outcome that I desired. You pushed me past my limit in every way possible, which is why I'm standing here today. And most importantly, you remind me that every moment spent playing the sport I love alongside the teammates I adore is a blessing and something I should never take for granted. Looking back at these years together, it's hard to believe that things are really coming to an end. Imagining my athletic career without you seems almost impossible, but imagining my life without your daily presence is something that no one could ever prepare me for. However, like the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. So, Coach Solis, thank you for being more than just an assistant coach to me. Thank you for being a teacher, a mentor, a provider, and a friend. But most of all, thank you for reminding me of the beauty of being a student athlete and of the blessings that come with the difficult moments.
Isabella Meggiato. Sorry, Isabella. I wanted to butcher your name.
Good evening, everyone. When I found out I was in the top 20 and could choose a teacher of influence, I didn't hesitate long. I knew I had to pick someone who shaped not just my education, but who I am, especially as an athlete. So I chose my elementary PE teacher from Anderson, Coach Abby Goff. Coach Goff, you were one of the first people who made me fall in love with running. You weren't just a PE teacher, you truly lived out what it meant to be active. You've run so many marathons and so many other races and challenges that I can't even keep track of them all. Watching you made being active look exciting and meaningful. Because of you, I genuinely loved running for many years. I ran throughout middle school and high school, and it taught me discipline and perseverance. While I eventually found my event in high jump, that love for running never disappeared. I may not run long distance competitively anymore, but one day I do plan to run a marathon, and that goal exists because of you. You've always had a way of making every student feel seen and special. You lit up the gym every day, which honestly makes sense considering we both share a love for bright yellow. It fits your personalities perfectly, energetic, positive, and impossible to ignore. One of my favorite memories is Twin Day, when I wore a shirt that said, Coach, so we could match. I thought I was the coolest person ever, and of course I can't forget our signature selfie pose where you hold the phone at your height and it just looks like my head is floating above you. So cute. It's tradition at this point. We actually took it today. What makes this even more meaningful is that you didn't just influence me back then. You still show up for me now. To this day, you FaceTime me just to check in and ask how I'm doing. You encourage me in my athletics, and you even surprise me with active wear every now and then. That kind of support doesn't just stop when a student leaves elementary school, and that says so much about who you are. Now we even get to play pickleball together, and once again you're teaching me, just on a different court. Coach Golf, you didn't just get me into running, you showed me how to chase goals, how to stay active with joy, and how to encourage others along the way. Even though I'm a high jumper now, everything started for that love for movement you sparked in me all those years ago. And one day, when I finally run that marathon, I'll know exactly who planted that dream first. I'm so grateful I get to call you my teacher of influence.
Josefa Mazzano.
For my educator of influence, I chose my sophomore AP Art History and AP World History teacher, Mr. Eubanks. However, I chose Mr. Eubanks because he taught me more than just history. It all derived from when I thought my life was over because I failed my first math test ever. I actually sat in his class crying. I think someone asked me if I had lost a relative. No, it was just my ego. And I really thought my future was over, but Mr. Eubanks assured me that I would not get off the hook that easily. He sat there, and I quote, told me that I'm part of this generation that deserves instant gratification and gives up when something goes wrong. I was instantly humbled, but I needed to hear it. He told me the truth instead of sugarcoating it. So, as any stubborn girl would do, I stayed in the math class and ended it with perfect grades. Ultimately, he taught me that just because something is hard and doesn't go accordingly doesn't mean I'm incapable of doing it. And that it's not always about the grade. It's about comprehending the material and having the willingness to learn. Mr. Eubanks had a different approach when it came to teaching. He would lecture the PowerPoints of different artworks, and each student would have to take their own personal time to study and understand it, and remember it. It taught me how to study and comprehend material, which I'm sure I 100% will use in college, and I can still recite these artworks today. His class revolved around artworks from different time periods until we switched to world history, where the answer was either Genghis Khan or communism. Mr. Eubanks is more than just a teacher to me. He's a mentor. A lot of our conversations during lunch revolved around different world affairs, and somehow they still all grew back to communism. Throughout the years, he gave me advice about all my problems, whether it was school, friendships, and all of the in between. He had to listen to a lot of tears, which I'm very grateful for. As I was once petrified of him on the first day of school, I can gladly say he has taken a major role in my education. Thank you, Mr. Eubanks.
For me, I was always aware from a young age concepts that my peers could easily pick up required extra time and dedication from me. This was especially depicted in mathematics. I always found myself being the last one to turn in tests and never achieving scores I was proud of. When I entered third grade, I was prepared to face the horrid realities of long division and multiplication. But the second I stepped foot in Miss Scott's class, I I was proven wrong. There, I met the first teacher who was truly patient with me and supported me through all aspects of life, even beyond the classroom. As a small third grader, I had always admired Miss Scott's compassion, patience, and positive way of thinking. It didn't matter how many questions I had, she was always there, knelt down beside me, explaining steps and formulas as slow as I needed, and never making me feel small. One day, while working on a major assignment, I spilled my water bottle all over my paper and the very last copy left in class. Instead of focusing on the quiet laughter from my classmates, Miss Scott simply smiled and proceeded to do the most Miss Scott thing she could possibly do. She pulled out an old hairdryer from the closet, sat with me, and spent 10 minutes ensuring my paper was somewhat dry enough to write on. I remember laughing with her on the rug as she was drying my paper and thinking how easy it was for her to see an embarrassing situation and turn it into something worth reminiscing about. Her outlook in life didn't stop influencing me just there. In 4th grade, I was given the opportunity to sing the national anthem at the Brandon Bear Field Day. While I was extremely nervous, I knew the one person I wanted right by my side while I sang was no other than my math teacher. After singing it successfully, I was pleased when my mom showed me how Miss Scott posted a video of me singing, captioning how proud she was of me. Seeing her words of encouragement and how she viewed me made me feel confident and appreciated. After this one achievement, I was more than overjoyed to be chosen to sing it in 5th grade as well. While I nervously held the microphone to my mouth, I felt assured as Miss Scott stood right there beside me again. However, the result of this time completely differed from my former. Midway through, I completely forgot the words of our nation's anthem. I paused with absolute horror as the whole school was waiting in silence ahead of me. After a single glance of reassurance to Miss Scott, I was able to bite back my tears and shakily finish the rest of the anthem. I remember how embarrassed I felt, thinking how I let my whole school down and that maybe I just wasn't as good as I thought I was. The next morning, I remember my mom calling me downstairs, eager to show me something on her phone. There, sure enough, Miss Scott posted a video of me singing yesterday with the incident edited out and a caption gushing over how beautiful I sang and how proud of me she was. That itself altered my way of thinking. How easy was it for her to see my awful situation and instead focus on the fact I attempted? I could focus on my stumbles, or I could be like Miss Scott and recognize the beauty in the bad. After 3rd grade, Miss Scott continued to show up for me in everything I did. My campaigns for student council, when I was the fairy godmother in the Cinderella play, and even tutoring me during the summer so I could feel prepared for the next year. Since leaving her classroom, I realized that Miss Scott didn't just teach me math. She reshaped the way I see myself and the world around me. I now find strength in moments of doubt and confidence in places I never thought I could. As I head off to college, I'm bound to encounter many hard moments. But if I could remember all of what I've learned from Miss Scott and culminate it into a simple phrase, it would be the small poster that hung on the far side of her classroom wall. Shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. Thank you.
Moran.
I want to start by saying the first time I met Miss Silver was not even in a classroom. I nervously approached her to ask her about the science fair, half expecting a quick answer and a polite dismissal because, well, obviously she was busy and probably teaching her class, and I was a student with a lot of questions. Instead, she stopped everything and looked at me like my question actually mattered and gave me her full attention with warmth and enthusiasm that caught me completely off guard. I remember walking away thinking, who is this person and how is she doing me this nice? Then I took her AP seminar class, slash our support class, and it all made sense. Miss Server does not have an off switch. She walked in like a ray of sunlight, full of energy and excitement that made the entire room feel different the moment she entered it. And I mean that in the most sincere and wonderful way possible. There is something rare about a person who brings out kind of light into a room, not because they have to, because that's who they simply are. And from the very first day I knew, I was in the presence of someone truly special. There was something about the way she explained things with such passion and excitement, the way her eyes lit up when a concept finally clicked for one of us, that made every single person in the room want to pay attention. Not because we had to, because we really wanted to. And if you know anything about high schoolers, you know how rare and remarkable that is. Ms. Silver, you're one of the most caring and dedicated teachers I ever had the pleasure of learning from. You never rushed us, you gave us time, the time we needed, explained things thoroughly, and did all of that with warmth and patience that made us feel like we were worth every minute of your effort and time. From our science fair projects to simple scientific questions for our acres and our tests, you showed up for us completely and every single time you were there. You made us believe that we were capable of more than we thought, and you did it so naturally that most of us didn't even realize it was happening until we were already doing things we never imagined we could. Bless you. I think that since you're part of every other teacher I've ever had, your enthusiasm is contagious in a way that generally cannot be faked. You're not performing excitement about the material, you're actually deeply, authentically excited about it. And that energy spreads through a room like wildfire. I have sat in a lot of classrooms in my life and have never experienced that kind of anything quite like it. And like the way your passion pulls people in, it makes them want to rise to meet it. You always put others first. You stay late, answer questions, and you never once made a student feel like their confusion was an inconvenience. You created a space where I felt safe. Not to now. Wait, sorry. You created a space where it felt safe to not know something, safe to struggle, safe to try again. That kind of environment does not happen by accident. It happens because of the teacher who cares deeply and works tirelessly to make sure every student in the room feels seen and supported. Ms. Stover, your positivity is something I generally aspire to carry into my own life and career. The way you approach every single day with that unshakable energy and genuine love for what you do is something, it's a saying I want to hold to myself. You reminded me that showing up with your whole heart is not just possible, but it's powerful. So on behalf of every student who has ever sat in your classroom, I felt believed in, encouraged, and generally inspired. Thank you. Thank you for your patience, your passion, your dedication, and for being the kind of teacher that students remember for the rest of their lives. You're truly one of a kind, Mr. Stover, and we're also lucky to have you as your teacher with the deepest appreciation and gratitude.
Emily Ramirez.
Dear Ms. Holcomb, in this letter, I would like to express my gratitude to you because through your teaching and guidance, I have been able to step outside of my comfort zone and try new things that I have never imagined myself doing. When I began taking your class, I did not realize how much I would gain from it. You possess a remarkable ability to teach with clarity and patience, and you would always make sure everyone truly understands the lessons. You create an environment where students feel comfortable asking questions and confident in their ability to learn. Furthermore, what means more to me is how you saw potential in me and entrusted me with an opportunity I never expected to have, being part of an bank internship program. Your support and confidence in me allowed me to meet new people, gain real world experience, and learn more about how a bank operates. This opportunity has helped me grow not only in knowledge, but also in responsibility and communication, which are skills that I will carry with me wherever I go. You are an amazing teacher who truly cares about your students and their success. Your encouragement, attentiveness, and dedication have made a lasting impact on me and so many others. You go beyond simply teaching and make sure your students feel supported and capable of succeeding. For these reasons, I want to thank you again for believing in me and for being such a positive influence in my life. I will always appreciate and remember everything you have done for me. Sincerely, Emily.
and made sure I actually understood it, not just memorized it. Those moments taught me a lot about perseverance and that asking for help is actually a smart thing to do, which is something I have trouble with. What makes this class even better is how positive and fun he is. He's always encouraging, and his puns and jokes make the class way more engaging. Even on days when the material felt really hard, his energy made it feel manageable and even kind of fun. That combination of support and positivity helped me stay confident and motivated, even when I was challenged. Because of Mr. Schultz, I didn't just get better at calculus. I learned how to push through challenges, be patient with myself, and stay confident even when things don't come easily. He taught me that mistakes aren't failures, they're a part of learning, and that's what really stuck with me. Those lessons have carried over into other classes, my leadership roles, and even how I approach challenges outside of school. I'm really grateful for all the time and effort you've put into helping me. Mr. Schultz, you have left a lasting impact, not just by teaching calculus, but by teaching confidence, perseverance, and how positivity can make a huge difference. These are the lessons that will stay with me forever. Thank you, Mr. Schultz.
Kylie Van.
Dear Mr. Garcia, as I'm currently reading this, I believe that you realize I've chosen you as my teacher of influence, but I've chosen you for a multitude of reasons. But it is especially because of the guidance you have given me over the past 2 years. As my computer science teacher, programming mentor on the robotics team, and even as my STEM 3 teacher, you have guided me to think more deeply and consistently, yet reasonably and logically. I'd like for you to understand how much you've changed my way of thought. In my first class with you in STEM 3, when I started researching for the science fair, you told us how we would experience failure. You told us that we would fail so much in our research, but it would ultimately be good. I remember distinctly that whenever I would get to a point where I was stuck or wanted opinions on a new idea, I'd always find myself sitting by your desk, talking to you, and we were just bouncing off ideas off each other. I came to your desk very often, usually with the failure I spent the entire week tackling. And from these many sessions by your desk, I realized failure's impact and the lesson that it teaches. To research and think outside the box of stagnant ideas, but also within the box of limited resources, funding, and time. It's only within that contract of limits can those outside the box ideas flourish. That realization made me understand the reality of any research or engineering project. Thank you for teaching me the truth of reality through the lessons of failure. But to pair with your emphasis of failure, you've taught the idea of a growth mindset. In your computer science class this semester, you gave us an entire lesson on having a growth mindset as part of your course, something seemingly completely unrelated to computer science. And yet I found this a very valuable lesson. A growth mindset is important for the success of any endeavor a person may go through. And you are the first person in my high school career to genuinely teach me the importance of this mindset and its applications. To be fully aware of this sort of mindset honestly sets me up for success. With this tool, I persist through challenges in hopes of success, and thank you for teaching me to persevere, to work hard with positivity through your emphasis on the growth mindset. And especially, you've taught me to be understanding as a leader and as a person, to be understanding not only to others, but to myself as well. I remember having a conversation about pet peeves one time, and you challenged me to be more understanding towards others. That conversation reminded me to perceive others more positively. You've told me often to refrain from placing too much pressure on myself and to understand that there are other people who genuinely are here for me. I've asked you often for guidance on leadership when it came to band, robotics, and especially from things such as lesson planning or organizing, to questioning how to motivate others. We work together to plan and create ways to keep programmers engaged in robotics, and thank you for teaching me how to be more patient with myself and others, and how to be more cooperative. Have you noticed the trend in these ways you've impacted me? You've actively challenged how I think, and I believe that is what makes a teacher influential. A good teacher can teach your subject or curriculum where you can understand it, but a great and influential teacher can teach you how to think openly. Through conversations by your
pride we all feel, please welcome a leader who is just as passionate about student success as we are. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our Lufkin ISD Superintendent, Dr. James Hockenberry.
Well, you know, there's not a whole lot more I can say about the teachers or the learners. Let's call them learners because they far surpassed being a student years ago. You can read through this, you can remember the words that they spoke, and in fact, many of them stole my words tonight. They made connections about their experiences that just really demonstrate how aware they are of what has taken place these many years. And they've transcended a place of testing to a place of engagement, authentic relationships, meaningful experiences. And when people ask me, you know, can you explain education? What I fall back on is education is not a test. It's a journey and an intersection of experiences between a teacher and a learner. And when you have a moment like this tonight, and Panthers of Prestige, it shows you that you do arrive at a place that is magical. Because at that intersection, no longer are you just a teacher and no longer are you just a learner. You're both. And I know our teachers know that. And y'all may not realize that. But we learn as much from you as you do from us. And that's what makes this night special, because we get to recognize that. So all I'm doing tonight is to connect that, if we haven't already made that connection, is that we are no longer teachers and students. We are a collection of learners side by side together. And the reason this is so memorable to you and to the teachers is because along the way, whether it was young, whether it was this year, you connected, and then confidence filled your soul, and you became something that far exceeded than what you began many years ago. It's just a special night. And really what we're here for is that we have a gift. The top 20 is a gift to us. And parents, I want to thank you for sharing that gift with us these many years. Because without you and your support and supporting them, we would have a meaningless time while walking these halls and sharing these classrooms. But we all need to hear that education is very, very important. And it's more than a test. It's a connection and an experience. And tonight we got to witness that firsthand. Thank you very much.
Last little piece that they're waiting on. It is my pleasure to introduce the salutatorian of the 2026 Lufkin High School senior class, Kylie Van. Introduce the valedictorian of the 2026 Lufkin High School senior class, Karen Moran.
quick moment, parents, I'd like for you to give yourselves a round of applause. As Dr. Hockenberry said, we want to thank you for sharing the gifts and talents of your students, but also we want you to share in those accomplishments as well. Okay, guys, this is the end of our evening. I just have a few little things I want to say, and one of them is about graduation. So if you have not heard, graduation has been moved to the expo. Okay, practice. We're doing practice, and my friends here on stage and any of the 2026 in the audience, please make sure your peers are aware. We are at the expo tomorrow at 9 a.m. Very good, because we are starting on time. So please be there, travel safely, especially if it's still raining, but we expect to see each of you there. All right, and now to everyone out here on stage, thank you for being a part of this incredible celebration. On behalf of the Lufkin ISD Education Foundation, we hope you have a wonderful evening. We pray that you all have safe travels back to your destination. And congratulations to our 2026 Panthers of Prestige.